Hello, you snack. Welcome back. My name is Jack. It's time for some more Reddit story readings today. So if you enjoyed today's video, like and subscribe. Thank you very much. And let's get into it. This story by OldChain8506. Am I the a-hole because my boyfriend is in a circle jerk with Jesus and I don't know what to do about it? Both me, 26 female, and my boyfriend, 29 male, are Christian, and we've been dating for 3 years. We do and have always been intimate, up until yesterday, which was a Tuesday. He made the decision to stop sleeping with me because he wanted to eliminate that sin from his life. I did not get a say, and me crying, actual mouth open, sobbing, hyperventilating, ruining my contacts. The entire time we talked, a 6-hour conversation, did not change a thing. He said things like being with me in that way is rooted in evil and a mistake, and that sleeping with me is an act of violence against his own body. He said that this decision has brought him a lot of peace. He was kind of really happy about it. He didn't get upset until he saw how it killed me inside. I was and am devastated. My devastation comes from a lot of places, including the situation coming up out of the blue. One of the last things he said to me on Monday night, the day before all of this, was, "So are you gonna let me hit tomorrow?" Now, it was playful and not weird, although it may sound that way. I'm devastated because intimacy always made us feel so close and connected, and it was, and is for everyone, a way to be vulnerable and intimate with your partner. The suddenness of this and the classification of that closeness and intimacy as evil and a mistake has left me feeling lonely, abandoned, rejected, and betrayed. I'm not sure if I'm the a-hole for having a really hard time with this. I just don't know what to do about it. People deserve to have their religious views respected, as well as their body autonomy. There's no rule that says he has to sleep with me, and I wouldn't want it if it was forced, you know? It's a weird situation to be in, being that the woman is usually the one to put the brakes on an intimate life. It's really about the idea that I had no choice in this, that anything I have to say or feel about it will not alter the outcome. And the loss of a special kind of love, intimacy, or vulnerability, or closeness. I don't know if I can move forward with it, and I can't tell if that makes me bad, or wrong, or unreasonable. He always said he's doing this because he loves me, that it's his job to lead me closer to Christ, and that he has no choice in the matter either. He has always said he wants a life with me, and we have talked about engagement frequently lately. We've both been saving to be able to put a down payment on some land to build a home on. Even during this conversation that we had, he made it clear that he still wants to be with me and doesn't want me to leave him over this. I don't know how I can stay with how much it makes me feel alone, rejected, dirty, abandoned, and betrayed. Does that make me a bad Christian? And a bad girlfriend? A bad potential wife? I have the feeling I may very well be the a-hole. I am not entitled to any other person's body. It is just really painful to hear that being intimate with me is seen as an act of violence against his body. I only ever wanted to love him. I feel disgusted to even be in my own body or to even still want to sleep with him based on how he views it now. If I am the a-hole, please try to be nice to me about it. I'm always interested in learning and growing and becoming better. I'm just also hurting really badly right now. Now, comments for this original post were mostly centered around the issue of the religion here. Some saying, "Are you comfortable with the fact that apparently your boyfriend and Jesus get to make all the decisions in your relationship for you?" Because he is outright telling you that he has no problem making unilateral decisions based on the fact that he feels he is supposed to lead you to God or whatever. I wouldn't be happy being a third wheel to the proverbial son of God, especially since your boyfriend is apparently the only one who gets to talk to him, which is a fair point. You could argue that this man is merely practicing his religion and you shouldn't be shamed for doing that, but then again, there's a lot of aspects of Christianity that are more patriarchal in nature, so just kind of feels like the religion here is used as an excuse to practice this patriarchal tendency. But regardless, this comment gave an interesting perspective on the boyfriend side of things. I guess I can understand where your boyfriend is coming from. I have changed a lot over the years. I am a 30-year-old dad and husband. My intimate life has kind of dwindled over the years because we are tired, and it's hard to find the time and place with a kid around. I used to be resentful. It made me feel unloved and unwanted. But then I also just became too tired and found that even if I wanted to, I'm just too tired. So then I retroactively understood my wife when she said, "No, I'm just too tired." And as much as I think getting it on with your partner is awesome and feels good, my kid was 100% unplanned, but also 100% wanted. I had a lot of unprotected time with my wife. She was on the pill, but still ended up conceiving. And that was awesome. But after these experiences and having a kid ready to enter kindergarten now, I have come to respect and appreciate that sex is for making new life. For such an amazing act as creating a new life, it should be an awesome process. And it is. Call it unprotected sex, but realize that every time you have that, you're trying to make a baby. So in this one person's opinion, if you're having that stuff and not prepared to become a parent, maybe don't. Otherwise, you're kind of just playing with yourself in a way that's disrespecting the process of creating new life. It would be akin to trying to get a vegetarian to eat meat when they have made personal ethical reasons to be vegetarian. It's just disrespectful to do something like that. You don't have to like it. But if it's incompatibility, it's an incompatibility. Now, I think what this comment's trying to say is that OP should de-escalate this feeling she's disgusting according to her boyfriend. That's not what he's saying. He's just saying that he wants intimacy itself to be more of a sacred thing, that its purpose is to create children, so we should only use it for that purpose. Like someone who suddenly only wants to drink alcohol when they want to celebrate, rather than every time they finish work. Then there's thoughts like these that are on the completely other side of the fence. You're the a-hole for continuing to push the situation. Your partner told you something, and that is their decision to make up for themselves, and you tried to manipulate the situation. There's a difference between saying you are doing this, and this is not what I'm looking for in a relationship, so I no longer will be in this relationship with you, and you trying to get them to change their answer. You need to take what they are saying and believe it. You need to make your decisions based on that. It sounds like you guys are just not compatible, and maybe you should break up permanently. Essentially, accusing OP that just because he no longer wants to give his body away to her so willingly and freely all the time, that apparently that means that he finds her ugly now and doesn't desire her anymore. I mean, it does bring up that idea that you're not entitled to your partner's body just because you're dating them, but I don't think really that's what OP is trying to say. And that's when we come to an edit from the OP, which adds some more context that is not in the boyfriend's favor. And more context for the situation. He was going off about how homosexuality is wrong because the Bible says man shall not lay with man. Then I said, I think it's wild that homosexuality wasn't even in the Bible until 1946, but has always been explicit in premarital sex being wrong, so why are you going to die on this homosexual hill? And he said that he had actually been praying about us having premarital sex, and that because I brought it up, it was divine intervention or an answer to a prayer, and said sexual intimacy is off of the table now. Edit number 2, we talked in great detail about the way it made me feel. He was very calm and composed and treated me with a lot of love and compassion. However, he also said things like I was being delusional. You're not the victim. You're taking it too personally. And it's not about you. Just for more context, I guess. So a few days later, we get an update, and the recap alone here completely changes what I was perceiving about the original post. Just a quick recap, my boyfriend, 29, and I, 26 female, have been together for 3 years with an incredibly sexually active life. We're both Christians, and he told me last week that he has decided we will no longer be intimate together after an argument we had. The argument was this: he was trying to indoctrinate the whole being gay is wrong ideology into me, which is hilarious because I only dated women for 5 years of my life. So when he brought the Bible into it, I said, it's weird that this is the hill you're gonna die on because homosexuality wasn't even in the Bible until 1946, but you sleep with me any chance you get. To which he responded, yes, I've been praying about it, and you saying that was a divine intervention, and we're not sleeping together anymore. This coming from the guy that gave me hell for not putting out for 2 months when I was going through a painful medical or health situation. Now, I realize I didn't give you guys the best context on the original post. Our relationship has only been 50% sleeping together and 50% talking, watching movies or TV for the past 6 months. So taking away that intimacy without saying he was going to supplement it with anything? Yeah, I had a big reaction. In the 6-hour conversation we had, I remember I kept saying, "But it's all we do," in relation to him taking that away. I knew it was a pathetic thing for our relationship, and I'm embarrassed to even tell anyone about it. We've been on 2 dates in the last 6 months, which is on par for how frequently we would go on dates. So, I took a couple of days of barely responding to him before I laid out my terms if we are to continue. During this time, we barely spoke. He texted me a couple of times saying how badly he wanted to work it out and that he wanted me to talk about my feelings with him. I told him if we are to continue, I have 4 terms. 1. Non-sexual intimacy. Kissing, cuddling, and holding hands, but also intentional intimacy exercises like eye-gazing. 2. Going out on dates. He does tons of things with his family and friends from church, and I want to be included. I want to have dates like every other couple, both alone and with other people. 3. Never use the Bible to control me. Not what I eat, what I wear, how I should think, how I should act. Checking me with the Bible is fine, but never an immediate demand for change. 4. Get tested. With the frequency of which we slept together and his absolute drive to sleep with me, I just wanted to know an STD wasn't the reason. It would have always been a doubt in my mind, and I didn't want to have doubts moving forward. This was by far the riskiest ask. He agreed to the terms, but was mad about the STD test. He said he would get one done today, but he's only texted me once today, so who knows. Which brings me to why I posted again. He is mad at me. All he wanted was to work everything out and to talk before I stated my terms, but after, he was short with me and noticeably angry. His replies got less frequent, and now he doesn't know what to do about our relationship. He's praying about it. He started devaluing me last night. He said he feels numb, that he's honestly over it, that the way I talked to him, looked at him, and treated him are not ways his wife would. He said it's obvious that I don't respect or love him and that now he doesn't know what to do. I panicked when he said this and I started to try to talk to him about it. He responded way after I went to bed with only, "Sleep well, talk tomorrow." Then this morning he said, "Good morning, I love you," which was honestly not what I was expecting. I texted him back 30 minutes later, "Good morning, I love you," and he read that but never replied. Bichers, for real, am I being manipulated? And if so, what the hell am I getting manipulated into? Because I feel like I have no idea what's happening. Now that notable sentence there, the way I looked at him and talked to him and not the ways his wife would. Yes, because he wants a subservient trad wife, not someone with boundaries, expectations, and self-respect. Now it does seem this boyfriend's upset that she suddenly had her own desires and rules in this relationship going forward rather than just accepting whatever he decides. But then OP drops another little edit/update with this story that how did she not already want to leave him based on this extra information? Edit. Other information of him as a person. He swears a lot? I do too, but that's also technically a sin, so why not stop that too? It took me 5 months to get him from saying the full N-word with the hard R when referring to black people. Now he just calls them N-words, like literally says N-word in place of the word in a sentence. He's homophobic and transphobic. He made me watch the documentary What is a Woman, which was just freaking painfully stupid in my opinion. Out of the blue, he said that I had to believe abortion is wrong or he was going to end the relationship immediately, and after days of fighting about it, I lied and told him what he wanted to hear. I'd never get an abortion, so it wouldn't matter in our relationship, but I still very much believe that individuals who can get pregnant have the inherent right to determine whether they want to terminate or not. He has 2 sleeve tattoos and is also balding. Also, edit number 2, he found my original post. He was very mad at the title, but did not debate anything I said. And in another comment, as someone compliments OP's writing style and that she should dump him and become a writer, OP says here, "I'm working up the courage to do it. I didn't have any to do it before I posted on Reddit. He really made me believe he was my last shot at having a family and a baby because women are exponentially less desirable after 24, which he said to me when I was 25, and he knew I was 25. I kinda question OP's ethical morals here, where for all this time, they could tolerate this racist, this homophobe, this transphobe, this sexist in general, but the moment she's no longer getting to ride his disco stick, that's when she's questioning the relationship and this man being a respectful person. I don't know, is that judgmental of me? You let me know. I can't understand this. And now over to this strange but entertaining story that began over a year ago in the Reddit Bureau of Investigation by Dr. Fartbarf. Mysterious vibrating in my bedroom. I'm not going crazy, but there's a vibrating in my room that I hear from time to time, and it's making me paranoid. I live alone. No one else lives with me but my dog. The buzz I hear sporadically sounds exactly like my iPhone, just a quick, short vibration about half a second. It's not my iPhone, as I hear it when I'm actively using my phone, and it's not my phone. It's not regular. It doesn't happen in intervals. It's completely random. Sometimes I hear it often, sometimes days go by. It's too quiet to hear when I'm watching TV, almost always when there's no other sound. Sometimes it sounds like it's coming from under my bed. Sometimes it sounds like it's coming from the ceiling. I can't, for the life of me, figure out what it is. I live pretty basic. I have a light mounted on the ceiling, a CO detector, iPhone charger in my room, and that's all the electrical things in my room. Could it be coming from inside the drywall? Plumbing, maybe? I'm not crazy. This is a real sound, but it happens so infrequently, I can't pinpoint it at all. Now, there were quite a few suggestions, some having similar cases for about a month. Turns out that neighbors had got ultrasonic deterrent devices set up in their garden to keep snakes away, which they buzz like a phone on vibrate every couple of minutes. Others reckon an Oral-B electric toothbrush with very low battery will do this. Drove them crazy for 2 days, but apparently it was neither of these. In regards to some more information, OP lives in a one-bedroom house, so no neighbors right next to the walls like an apartment. What about potential bugs that are making a noise? Well, no. There are flies and insects that get in, but my dog goes crazy chasing them. If it was a bug, he'd know it before I would. So essentially no one had any idea for a year and a half, until OP suddenly returned this year with an update. I posted about a strange buzzing in my house over a year ago, and I never was able to figure out what it was. I'd hear it so infrequently and irregularly that it was almost impossible to figure out what it was. Every time I'd hear it, I'd immediately stop what I was doing and go real silent, waiting with bated breath, hoping it would buzz again. Almost like a cruel joke, it would only buzz after I gave up waiting and went back to whatever it was that I was doing. Even up to last week, I'd still hear it. Sometimes multiple times a day. Sometimes weeks would go by without hearing it. But I'm pretty sure I figured it out, and it's comically stupid what it was. So I was sleeping in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m., and I woke up and was in a semi-sleep daze, kinda drifting. The world was real quiet, and it was a deep silence. Then I heard the buzz. But for the first time, it almost immediately repeated. And kept repeating in frequency, almost like a rhythm. I was 100% sure it was my phone ringing on vibrate, so I started groping around the bed to find my phone because the buzzing sounded exactly like my phone buzzing every 2 seconds for about half a second. Once I found my phone, the buzzing continued, but I couldn't quite place where it was coming from. This is gonna sound crazy, and I'm amazed this is the source, but eventually my alertness and physical movements woke my dog up, and the buzzing immediately ceased with a grunt. The buzzing was my stupid shepherd's exhales. Like his every exhale, or possible inhale, I'm not sure, was buzzing, exactly emulating a cell phone buzz. I'm decently confident that this is the same buzzing that I've been hearing for years, and also the reason that I've been unable to source it, because every time I hear it I get super alert and tense, which immediately wakes up my dog because he's super in tune to my behavior and his breath buzzing stops. Then, when I relax and give up the search, he goes back to sleep as the situation's over. That's when I hear it again, and he again wakes up to see what's got me agitated. I also only ever hear it during moments of calm when I'm lounging, never when I'm active and moving about the house, so this would make sense that it's only ever when my boys are sleeping. I'm pretty satisfied with this answer, and as I haven't heard it since that night, when I do hear it again, I'll be on the lookout to see if it's the dog nose next time as well. So, yeah, not exactly the most exciting revelation, but a very comical one nonetheless. Glad it was innocent like this, though, and not something far more darker than, well, there was this old Reddit story that was equally confusing where someone was being forgetful around their own house. They'd see post-it notes left around that they don't remember writing. But it wasn't until posting onto this Reddit group that they realized, from the comments, that something was leaking carbon dioxide gas into their house, and they were literally probably a week or two away from suddenly dying in their sleep. So that's something to rest easy about. Anyone out there who gets easily paranoid about things? Anyway, we might end today's video there with that lovely light note that I've ended us on. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. Hope you have a lovely rest of your day/evening wherever you are in the world. My name's Jack, and I'll see you for the next video. Bye-bye.